Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Leicester Arena. We have a top of the table WBBL clash here as the Leicester Riders take on the Seven Oaks Suns. Daniel Routledge with Pablo Vasquez with you. Pablo, two undefeated teams, two teams at the right end of the table, two teams hoping to be in and around the silverware as we progress through this campaign. It promises to be a great game.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's going to be definitely a good game. As you said, two unbeaten teams, undefeated teams, so hopefully we have a great game tonight here.
Well, they met 5 times in all competitions last season. The Suns won the last 4, including that big victory in the trophy final, and also on this very floor, the come-from-behind playoff semi-final victory on their way to the O2 and victory in the playoffs. So in the big games in recent times, Seven Oaks have some good memories of going head-to-head with Leicester.
Yeah, definitely. But today, you know, the season just started, something different. I'm sure the coaches prepared the game pretty good, and hopefully, you know, they're going to have their game plan ready, and they obviously going to try to get the W.
Well, Leicester off to 3 wins from their first 3 games, 3 comfortable wins as well. The closest game they had was a 16-point success at Northumbria. And at the other end of the floor, the Suns, who have won 4 games, much closer. They won by 7 in Nottingham, in overtime in Northumbria, beat Manchester by 5 last week. I know you saw that game against Nottingham at the beginning of the season, and of course Nottingham, another team that should be in or thereabouts when the trophies are being handed out. So if you look at the teams that Seven Oaks have played so far, this is a difficult start to the season. If they win this and go 5-0, that'd be really impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Seven Oaks, as you said, they had a tough start of the season, and yeah, I saw them in the first game in Nottingham. They play really good, and you know, Nottingham obviously is another team that is going to be on top of the table this year, and as you said, if they get the win today, they're going to go 5-0, so it will be a really good start for them.
Well, promises to be an interesting matchup of offense against defense, because if you look at the players that Seven Oaks have on their side, they've got 2 of the top 5 scorers from last season. Judith Fritz, who joined from Cardiff, finished 2nd in the league in scoring, averaging over 21 points a game last year. Kat Carr was 5th, just under 19 points per game, and obviously Chantel Priestley coming in as well. She's able to put a big number up on the board, and yet Leicester, through their first 3 games, have only given up 50 points per game so far, so they certainly look to do things at the defensive end.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, Seven Oaks, you know, they have a lot of players that can put the ball on the basket, and especially those 3 you talk about. Judith Fritz last year, she had a great performance during the whole season. Kat Carr, you know, she's been here around the league for a few years now, and they have threats all over the court, especially with the shooters. And Leicester, of course, they're trying to perform again on the defensive end. 50 points per game is a really good number for them. Hopefully they you know, tonight they try to do exactly the same thing and try to reduce those points coming from the Seven Oaks players.
Well, the 5s have made their way out. Haywood, McGarrigan, Oliver, Smith, and Thompson against Koppel, Priestley, Fritz, Clark, and Carr as the 2 starting lineups. And it's Priestley and Thompson who are in the middle of the court, getting ready to jump it up and get us underway in this top of the WBBL clash. And it's Leicester who come down with it and turn it over straight away. So Priestley has numbers going forward, gets it to Fritz, and Fritz on the board straight away.
There you go. You see with Judith Fritz, you can fall asleep because she's going to punish you every time if she can.
Almost another steal, but McGarrigan's able to come up with it. Thompson, a little behind on that pass. And now she gets it again, 15 feet from the basket. McGarrigan cutting to the hole off the glass, and we are tied at 2. Well, Coach Bush really unhappy with Judith Fritz there, allowing that easy score. I was having a chat with him before the game. He's liking the look of his squad, perhaps a bit more experience this year and a bit more size than they had last year. but he was pretty pleased with how things were shaping up so far. Minute in, and Smith crosses the halfway line for Leicester. McGarrigan up top. Smith running off the screens, and the pass is well read by Priestley to steal that away.
That's already 2 turnovers for Leicester.
Fritz, back out Priestley from behind the arc. Challenge from Thompson is only half a second late, and that's a tough shot.
Priestley, to play in the biggest spot, she's shooting at 60% from the 3, so, you know, she definitely can make that kind of shot.
Back in the WBBL after a couple of seasons away in Germany and the Czech Republic. Fritz actually played, she played for the Suns for half a dozen games a couple of years ago, Nottingham the season before that, and it's a great start by the visitors, leading 7-2. Haywood from behind the arc, doesn't go, stolen away by Smith after Clark had got the defensive rebound. McGarrigan lets fly and hits the 3, cuts it to 2. Good work by Smith on with the sneaky steal there.
Yeah, Alice is a great player. She's been around now with the team for 3 years, same as me. And you know, she's a piece that is really important in this team.
Clark going well to the hole, lays it in for 2. Oliver, nice pass. McGarrigan's kind of stuck behind the basket, gets it back to Oliver, front rims that. McGarrigan can't quite rebound it, but Leicester do get it back. Smith from behind the arc cuts the lead to 1.
Great effort from Kate Oliver. She's one of the new girls coming in this year, Australian, and you know, she has a great ability to pass the ball, and like she kept the ball live for Leicester to make Alice able to hit that 3 now.
Well, into the starting lineup today, I think the extra size was part of the thinking there as McGarrigan gets the rebound.
Yeah, the other thing is Molly Campbell. She's not going to be part of the team today because she rolled her ankle, so that probably made Kate a start tonight.
Here's Smith again from behind the arc. 3's flying in all over the place for Leicester right now. They lead 11-9. Clark under pressure from Haywood, and Koppel will fire up for 3. That one almost drops. Thompson lobs it into Oliver. Oliver under pressure has to kick it back out. Haywood with the crossover, and she landed a little awkwardly there. She kind of rolled over the ball. I think she's okay. And I don't know if it was it's a kick ball, the referee says, which is why Seven Oaks get the ball from the end. Carr. Clark now on the far side. Fritz puts it on the floor, takes it to the hole, can't convert that time. Offensive rebound gives the Suns a second chance. Nice pass, Fritz is wide open, but what an assist from Kat Carr. Thompson trying the tough bounce pass and no way through on that. Fritz out in front again, and we were talking about how she can put numbers on the board. She certainly has early on.
Definitely, she can do a ton of things. She can put the ball down, shoot the 3. You know, she's very versatile, a really good player.
6 points for her already, and then Smith is certainly putting numbers on the board. Her 3rd 3. She's perfect from that distance for 9 points. Couple. Shot doesn't go. Thompson with the rebound. Smith. Thought she was going to pull up there in transition. So hot has she been here, but gets the assist inside.
That's a great steal from Kate Oliver in transition. Really good job from her.
Well, a blistering start to the game. 29 points on. We're only midway through the first quarter as Clark drives baseline. Oliver gets a deflection on that. Smith now looking to push Leicester forward. Haywood, long two. And Leicester lead by 6. Oh, cracking start to the game.
Yeah, definitely. This one thing that Leicester likes a lot is run in transition and try to get the open shot as soon as possible. So they're trying to, you know, punish Sevenoaks in the transition defensive end. They're doing it really good right now.
Well, I was talking to Coach Patel, and he did say if they can get the tempo up, he likes the way they play. And they've certainly managed to do that, and he's waving them forward again. Here comes McGarrigan. Back to Smith for another 3. 4 from 4 for Alex Smith. She's come out on fire, and Leicester have opened up an 8-point lead. Coach Len Bush forced into a timeout, but this is the Alex Smith show right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things from Alex. If she has those days where she starts the game really hot, she'll be really tough, and she's showing it. She's 4 from 4, I believe, from the 3-point line for 12 points, and 2 assists for 12 of index rating. So, 7 minutes of the game, and she's putting numbers up. So,
and it's one of those things you see with good shooters. When the first one goes in, you've got to make sure you're out there playing some defense on it, because the degree of difficulty, it doesn't matter by that point once they get into the flow. That last one was a tough 3,
definitely.
She'd made the previous 3, it was going in all the way.
Yeah, that's from the shooter point of view. In your mind, is going to be, a really good setup if you score the first one. You're gonna keep shooting it, and you're gonna feel good for sure.
Well, back out come the 2 teams, and
looks like Holly Winterburn and Rebecca Navarro, they're just checking in.
And the other way, Bush coming in for the Suns, and so too comes Ashley Munn.
It's going to be a nice matchup with Renee Bush and Rebecca Navarro, 2 great shooters.
Well, Munn driving in, taking it right to the basket with her first touch, and draws the foul on Jamila Thompson, and Ashley Munn will go to the line for 2. First one rattles in. And they're both good. Smith. Haywood. Bush is now trying to defend Smith running along the baseline, and I think was it a bracelet or something that Winterburn had on. The ref just asked her to take it off. Here is Smith. And they're all over her, unsurprisingly. Navarro lets fly from behind the arc, off the back of the ring. Smith almost chases that one down, but he gets there first. Here's Munns again, putting it on the floor. Priestley in the corner. Lewis driving in off the glass, tip by Thompson to Smith.
There comes Leicester.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a good idea. She just pulled the defense out by slowing, and they were conscious if she pulls up. But the kickball prevented it getting through to the open Haywood under the basket.
Kind of small lineup for Leicester now, with Navarro in the 4 spot and Jamila Thompson on the 5. Something different to try.
Here's Haywood along the baseline. Great move. Stretches the lead back to 8. Inside is Lewis, and the foul call. Caitlin Lewis will go to the line for 2 shots. Foul was on Rebecca Navarro. It's her first. And Smith and Thompson are going to get a break with Round coming in for the first time and Oliver back into the fray. Caitlin Lewis has only missed one free throw so far this season. Hasn't been there that many times. Well, there's the second one. Oh, and they kind of just got in each other's way. Winterburn and Oliver. And it goes out of bounds. What should have been an easy defensive rebound becomes a team offensive one. Fritz looking to get an attack.
They trying to put the ball inside to Presley because she's guarded by Rebecca Navarro, and she has a big advantage in there.
Winterburn gets it back out to Round. Into Oliver off the glass. Good finish. Oh, pass only just made it to Judith Fritz. Bush got a little space. Oliver with the rebound. Leicester by 9. Chance to go double figures here inside the final 2 minutes. Hayward in the corner for 3. Knocks it down. Leicester's 6th three-pointer in 8 attempts.
It's 18 points out of the 28 from the three-point line, so Savinox needs to chase the shooters off the line.
Bush gets a little bit of space, and now she's under pressure. Shot clock down to 4. Fritz has got to let it fly. Fritz gets through, gets it off. Oh, and foul right on the shot clock buzzer. Well, I suppose the first mistake is to let her go by and attack the basket in that situation. If she has to throw up a 20-foot prayer on the shot clock buzzer, that's a better option. And the second mistake is to commit a foul in that situation.
It was a really close situation with the 24 second.
Judith Fritz going to the free throw line.
73% for her.
Oh, needed some help from the ring on that occasion. Can't get the second one to go. Winterburn brings it forward. Here's Round. Another 3, this time from Winterburn. And a rare missed long-range effort from Leicester here in the first quarter. Fritz, little change of pace. Now has the big Oliver in front of her. Did well there, the defender. Shot is long.
It's interesting the lineup from Leicester with 3 Charnwood players. Megan Jones are around and Holly Winterburn at the minute with Kate Oliver and Lanier as well.
Here is Round to Oliver. Under pressure, gets it out, Winterburn. Picks it up again, the shot clock getting low this time on Leicester. Oliver lets it fly from 3, and Leicester have made their 6th triple of the, their 7th triple of this quarter. Lewis. There's a couple of seconds, maybe 4, between the shot and the game clock. Fritz. Fritz, a little stutter again, does well. Oh, what a block though! Megan Jones threw that one out. Well, there's 5 on the shot clock, and there's 8.7 on the game clock here in the first quarter. Oh, it's a bit high. Caught it though. Bounce passing, good pass it is to. Doesn't hit the ring, so the shot clock violation. And there's 2.2 for Leicester to try and get down court and score.
Krummesh was nearly on the halfway line.
Well, he wanted to make sure that his team knew what he wanted them to do. Winterburn round the screen. Winterburn from the half court. Oh my goodness, the way everything has gone in the first quarter, you kind of expected that one to do, but what a blistering first 10 minutes by Leicester. 31 points on the board, Pablo.
Definitely, 31 points. As we were talking during the whole quarter, they are like 7 for 10 from the three-point line, 70%. That's a really high number. 21 points coming from the three-point line of the 31. So definitely Savinox needs to adjust a little bit on the defensive end with them.
Well, I'm guessing Coach Len Bush will be saying, well, they can't keep shooting 70% from the three-point line.
Definitely.
But the other thing is just the sheer volume of them. As you say, 7 3-pointers through 3 games. Leicester have only made 16 in 3 games, and yet they've got 7 already here in the first quarter. You kind of think that actually, even if it slows down percentage-wise, they could end up with 10 or 12 3-pointers. That's a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. 3 quarters, still 3 quarters to go. So, if they keep shooting the same way, it's gonna be a big number on the board for sure. But as you said, it's gonna be tough for them to keep shooting in the same level, with the same confidence. 70% is a really high number. So we will see what happens in the next quarters.
Well, the interesting thing is Sevenoaks are right about on their quarterly average. They average just shy of 19 points a quarter, if you can do it that way. 75 points a game through the course of this season. So they wouldn't be too disappointed with what they've done offensively. It's just at the other end of the floor where Leicester, who average about 18 points a quarter, if you can just divide them up by 4 like I have scored 31.
It's a big number for them.
It's a massive number. They average just shy of 72 points a game, and they've got 31 in the opening 10 minutes. And there's Smith, who did much of the damage at the offensive end, knocking that ball loose. Smith is only 5 points behind the Suns on her own. Ooh. And that got a little deflection, I think, from Hayward. And Jones, because she was facing a play, didn't see it coming. It kind of caught her on the back of the head, back of the arm, and out of bounds. The one thing you will say about the Suns is they have enough offensive firepower, and they have enough experience and know-how to not panic in a game like this, a situation like this, as Carr's 3 doesn't go.
Yeah, Catherine Carr, she's already on 0 points, which is something that's really interesting. And you know, she's averaging at the minute 16.7. So it's a big part of the, of the deal for this team.
Well, there's an offensive foul. Shot clock buzzer went, but Thompson took the charge. And Caitlin Lewis picks up her first. Jones. Hayward, nice pass back to Jones. Oh, got to finish that, but there's Thompson, no! And there's a foul on the rebound. I think Bush just trying to lever Jones out of the way. Leicester possession on the end. Jones, all the space she could
Great play
at the free throw line. A defensive breakdown, though. And Megan Jones gets on the board. Lewis from behind the arc. That one's halfway in. It's sort of on another day might have rolled in. But another chance for an end-line possession as Lewis sits down, and so too does Munns. Priestley and Clark into the game. And here is Priestley. Bush. Good hands from Thompson. And away comes Hayward. Has Winterburn ahead of her, but she can't quite get hold of the ball. Smith helps her out. Smith on the pick and roll. Goes the other way to Jones. Now Thompson. In the corner, Winterburn from behind the arc. And that one doesn't go. Leicester missed 2 threes in a row now. Carr drives in. Stuck on the baseline, and Winterburn is going to get called for a little bump. Jones and Winterburn sit down. Watkins sits down as well for the Suns. Lobbed into Chrisley. Clark. Clark going to work, but comes off the side of the board. Haywood. Smith thinks about the three, puts it on the floor instead. Thompson trying to bounce it into Oliver. It's kicked out of bounds. Leicester will get the ball on the end line with 14 seconds on the shot clock. McGarrigan. Oliver dives to the basket. Good hand to deflect it loose, and Fritz came up with it. Here's Carr. Chrisley hits the deck, gets back up. Clark steps back, just got a little touch on the arm there. Well, Haywood isn't convinced. And that's her second foul. They're both good, and the horn blows to allow a substitution for Leicester with Oliver coming out of the game, Navarro coming in. Thompson. McGarrigan. Thompson with the mid-range jumper that has a thing but bubbles out. Well, all the fireworks of the first off, it's 2-all. First quarter, it's 2-all. Here, it's 4-2 now.
That's exactly what I was thinking at this minute. It was 2-2 so far.
Haywood goes the opposite way to the screen, drives in, good cover. Ball comes out to Navarro. No reset of the shot clock because it didn't hit the ring, but it doesn't matter because Navarro's on hand to score. Fritz. Chrisley gets the space, can't go. Navarro just bobbled it for a second. McGarrigan. Smith from behind the arc, missed one. First miss of the game from that distance, having been 4 of 4 up until then. Smith was asking for some help. Thompson provided it in the end. Bush from long range. Mostly with the putback. And Coach Patel's going to call a halt to things on that. The lead is still in double figures, but it's down to 12, having been as high as 16. And I think really it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, wow, we've not really scored here in the first nearly 5 minutes of the second quarter with only 4 points. But that's in context to the 31 they scored in the first quarter, and actually it's pretty much basket for basket here in the second period.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good call from Krumesh. Get the team together now, talk about what we can improve, what we could do better, and get everybody on the same page now for the rest of the quarter. As you said, just 4 points now, 31 the first one, so it's really a good timeout for him.
Well, the other thing might be just let's draw up something, one of our favorite plays, something that we normally score on, and just get ourselves back in the flow. Well, Fives make their way back out on court. Leicester have forgotten it's their ball from the end. Jones runs down to go get it and into Round. Great defense from Bush. Jones. Hayward, did she run out of court? She did. There wasn't much space along the baseline.
One thing from Sevenoaks is, you know, they're not gonna give up. That's for sure. Even that they are 12 down, they're gonna fight for every single ball. I remember last year when they were playing on the playoffs, they were down 15 or something like that the first half, and they took the win. They went to the O2 and they won against Nottingham, who they were the main favorites to win it. So you know, it's a really dangerous team.
Memory serves, they got behind early on in that game. A few times I saw Sevenoaks last season where they just came at teams strong, particularly in the third quarter. So Round lets fly from behind the arc. It's out of bounds. And Leicester going to make some changes with Winterburn and Smith returning.
Yeah, at the minute Leicester is relying a lot on the three-point shooting. They probably took at about like 12, so they probably need to get a little bit on the lane now.
Bush driving along the baseline. Well, that's the thing. When you go 7 for 10 in the first quarter, you start to think everything will go in.
Exactly.
Not made one yet here in the second quarter in 3 attempts. So technically they've missed their last 4 in a row. I think there's a holding foul on Fritz in the lane. Again, it might be one of those things where actually if you can attack the basket, get something down low, either just get the scoreboard ticking through free throws or something. Winterburn. Oliver. Thompson. Backing down. Nice little up and under, but Bush was there to help out, and came off Thompson last, so that will be a turnover and a Leicester ball. Sevenoaks ball, sorry. Carr. Fritz. Carr. Shot clock getting low. Out of bounds. There's Thompson. Winterburn trying to get free, just about came up with the ball. Here she is again. Loses it this time though. Clark has it. Round back on her own. Nice from Clark. Just a little change of pace. And
Tayani Clark, I've seen him for now 3 years. She's great. Like, you know, on the stat she's 8 points per game. She's not the highest scorer of the team, but she can do a ton of stuff.
Oh, Round can't convert from close range. Very smart player, Clark, as well. Like having an extra coach out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Bush. Fritz to the spin, down to Carr. Cross court, Bush with space. Bush knocks down the triple. She's a good shooter, you can't leave her open like that. And suddenly it's down to 5. Well, feast and famine here in the first half. Leicester 31 points in the first quarter, just 4 in almost 8 minutes here in the second. Thompson. Thompson turn around, that doesn't go. And chance with 2 minutes to play to get this back to within a shot. Here's Carr, sorry. Clark. Oh, a little up and under.
Nice
Beautiful
move.
finish. And they've come all the way back here. It's down to only 3. And Sevenoaks have outscored Leicester by 15 points to 4 here through 8 minutes and 16 seconds. And Leicester just haven't found any way of giving the scoreboard operator something to do.
Yeah, exactly. The three-point shooting is a big deal for them. As we could see in the first quarter, they scored 7 of their attempts, and now they're struggling with it. Definitely, the shot's not going in. Sevenoaks defense, it looks like it stepped up a little bit, and the game's getting really close now. 3-point game.
Well, it's 5 minutes since Leicester last scored. It was 6:40 on the clock with a Leicester basket from Navarro that gave them a 14-point lead, but the last 11 points have all gone to Sevenoaks.
That's 11-0 for Sevenoaks at the minute. Still open too. So.
I suppose the other thing, as well as the three-point shot, is Leicester seemed to get a lot more transition opportunities. They didn't always score, but they seemed to be playing, able to get slightly quicker, and Sevenoaks have done a good job of slowing that down here in the second quarter.
That's kind of helping when Sevenoaks is scoring, the opportunity for Leicester to run is less. So on the 5v5, the defense from Sevenoaks is getting tight now.
Oliver for 3, and that breaks the spell of 11 straight points by the visitors, and boy, did Leicester need that. Carr. A little up and under step. Oliver can only deflect that out of bounds. And inside the final minute of the first half, it's a Sevenoaks ball from the end. Fritz. Back out to Carr. Steps underneath the diving challenge and takes the open shot.
First point for Kat Carr now in the second quarter. So, Leicester's been doing a great job on containing her on the pick and roll situations, but she just got her first points of the game.
Here's Carr again. Spins back, gets it. Oh, nice pass, but people can't finish. And the shot clock is switched off. Leicester would be well to pull this one out, and that's what they do. Try and take the final shot of this first half. Smith off the back of the ring. That's a bit early because it
left some time for Sevenoaks now.
Well, we're going to have to heave. I don't think
she didn't realize. Yeah. She didn't realize about the shot clock.
Well, a half of two halves there. Leicester came out blistering. 7 of 10 three-pointers in the first quarter to lead by as many as 16. They had 31 points in that opening period, but Sevenoaks fought right back. And they've been consistent, 17 points in each quarter, and that's how they've managed to cut this one down to just 4 points here at halftime. And, well, I think both coaches will have plenty to refer to as what we can do, what we've done well in this game, and what we need to work on at halftime.
Yeah, definitely. Sevenoaks has been consistent, 17 points on both quarters. The average is 18 for them on during the season. So I guess Lem Bush is gonna push them to carry on in the same way. Like, try to score our 17, 18 points per game and defend. Keep defending, because obviously the 3-point shooting from Leicester, as we could see in the second quarter, it came down to a 50-something percent, 53% of the 70 that they had in the first quarter, and it's a big deal for them. As we've been talking the whole time about the 3-pointer. And for Crew Match and Leicester, they need to run. They need to keep running, run the floor, and the transition opportunities when they are dangerous. They score in the first quarter a lot, running, trying to find the open person to shoot the ball, and on the second quarter on a let's say 5v5 game where Seven was scoring and they couldn't run in transition. It was tougher for them, and now the game is a 4-point game, so it's going to be interesting in the second half for sure.
Well, it certainly is. Pablo and I are going to take a little break here with the score at the half, 38-34. We'll be back again in about 12 minutes time. Second half just a moment or two away. We're back on and ready to go after a really seesaw first half. Leicester with 7 3-pointers in the first 10 minutes to lead 31-17 at the end of the first quarter, but they were outscored 17-7 in the second, so their advantage is down to only 4. And well, it's been a half of the tortoise and the hare, hasn't it? Leicester with the hare and Sevenoaks the tortoise, and they just kept plodding along. And well, they might, you know how that story ends. The tortoise might get there by the end of the 40 minutes. Certainly, they've been very even-paced, Sevenoaks, and Leicester a bit more feast and famine. Well, Pablo, you've been in many a halftime locker room. What do you think the two coaches would have been saying to their teams?
Well, definitely. As I said before the halftime, Len probably, you know, is gonna try to get a team together and keep doing the same thing. Like they are scoring 17 per quarter, which will take them to nearly 60 something. And Krumesh probably is gonna try to find a different way to score instead of rely that much on the 3-point line.
Nearly a couple called for the foul. Inline ball, which is inbounded to McGarrigan.
You know, that's the first difference we see it now. The first two possessions for Leicester, they throw the ball inside to Kate Oliver.
Turnover on that occasion though, and a chance to cut it back to a shot. For the second time in the game, Presley just steps out of bounds on that.
How many times does people step out of bounds
on
those corners?
Since they extended the 3-point line, it happens so many times every game. And yet, in the corner, as Brown has it, in the corner, the 3-point line only moved out about 2 inches or an inch. Really wasn't much of an adjustment, and they've never, despite the fact that happened years ago, players have never adjusted, and they all do it.
I know some coaches, they teach how to, you know, don't step out of bounds in those corners, but it's really tough.
Well, it's a natural reaction to have that foot go backwards,
especially catching the ball in the move. And all that stuff.
Taking it in
Good
underneath.
take from Koppel.
And the lead is down to only 2. McGarrigan. Ooh, nice little slow step through, gets her own rebound, and that'll be a Leicester ball. It was almost like she double pressed play there and just went at a slower speed than everybody else on that step. Smith from miles out for 3. She made her first 4 of the game. Fritz. Out to Call. Koppel. Ball is loose, and Smith gets there first. Kicks it forward to McGarrigan. Good pass.
Transition basket.
We didn't see much of that in the second quarter. We saw quite a bit of it in the first. Presley fires up, rattles out. McGarrigan with the rebound, and again Smith looking to get out in the open court. Tried the bounce pass, and Clark with a smart use of the foot to break it up. Good defense from Clark. Smith was trying to get open, but just couldn't. And there's another kick ball. This time it will add some time back into the shot clock. It was at 7. It will head back to 14.
Great defense from Tajani Claridge. They were playing a down screen situation for Alice Smith. You know, she was ready for it.
Oliver under pressure, trying to find McGarrigan on the interior pass. Lobbed into Clark, back out to Fritz. Fritz straddling the three-point line, that's worth just 2.
Cathcart is not scoring a lot today, but she's making plays for everybody else. She already gave 2 passes, one to Renee Bush, another one for Fritz now, and they scored both three balls.
Haywood turns it over, 2-on-1 here. Clark to Fritz. Fritz misses though. Smith with the rebound. And Smith looking to push. It's 3-on-2 the other way. Thompson tried the difficult pass to Haywood, and it's out of bounds. Winterburn coming in for Oliver. Winterburn just sort of bumped into Presley there, didn't stop her from making the pass. Oh, good pass again from Carl, but Thompson throws it out. Shot clock down to 4. Carl's got to let this fly. Bench shouts to her. She does get the shot off. Thompson with the rebound. She's under pressure, breaks free of it, and gets the ball to Smith. Back to Thompson. It's a little bit behind it. It was slightly deflected. Winterburn's open in the corner. Winterburn from behind the arc. Sure, there's Thompson again on the glass. Trying to get it back to Winterburn, but 4-on-2 the other way. Clark. And that is a very smart kickball there by Smith. She was all on her own at the back, needed to do something to give her teammates a chance to recover. Cathcart underneath. We'll try again from the end. Is Clark, and having trailed by as many as 16, the Suns have tied the game at 40 here.
Great defense by Sevenoaks.
And they deny the shot. Got to throw it up. McGarrican does get it off. It hits the ring, so the ball is live, and Smith gets a rebound. Great play from, great recognition from McGarrican. Just threw it up at the ring, knowing that the shot clock buzzer was about to go. Smith can't convert.
Great steal.
Smith lobs it to Haywood. Oh, Haywood can't convert though. Presley blocked by Thompson. Fritz off the glass, and for the first time since the opening few minutes, Sevenoaks are in front. Winterburn off the back of the ring and over the stanchion and out of bounds. And Leicester, three-point shooting continues to nosedive from the heights of the early stages of the game. They were 7 of their first 9. Since then, sorry, they've been 1 of 8.
Another thing is the free throw line. Leicester haven't been yet to the foul line, and Sevenoaks has been 8 times, 75% from there. Some defense now.
But again, if you take 18 three-point shots, you won't get to the free throw line very often. Good steal from Winterburn. Winterburn going to get our pocket picked, but Leicester will keep possession. inside, Winterburn has it. Good defense from Bush. Thompson trying to somehow get hold of it. And she's adjudged to have booted it. So it will give the possession back to the Suns. Bit of zone press here from Leicester, 2-2-1. Fritz fakes the three, puts the ball on the floor instead. Good pass, but good defense from Jones as well. Winterburn. Whoa. Well, she's looking for a foul that isn't coming her way. The ball out of her hands and out of bounds.
Bit of a zone defense now from Leicester.
Well, you got to find the shooters, and Bush is certainly one of those. And she doesn't make them pay that time. Foul is on Thompson. Leicester, I think, have got a little warning there for some verbals as a team. I think it was mainly Winterburn after that last play. Certainly Coach Bush at the other end of the floor was less than impressed with the way his team dealt with the full court press. He thought they were a bit too static, even when they got over the halfway line against the zone. It's Fritz from three-point land. Julia Koppel with the rebound, great strength. Smith inside to Oliver under pressure, and she is fouled. And you mentioned a moment ago that Leicester hadn't been to the free throw line yet this afternoon. They're about to now. Ashley Munn's into the game as Judith Fritz sits down. Oliver at the line. First one is good. And second one comes off. And Lewis. Call. Good. Oh, no. Winterburn got it. So that's going to be 3 free throws. Julia Koppel will come out of the game. I think Coach might have a word with her about how they break that zone press. He's going to go draw it up on the board, but we're right near Len Bush. We could tell he wasn't happy on 2 plays in a row. And yeah. Anyway, 3 free throws now. First one is good for Munns, who's got 4 points to her name, all from the free throw line. She hasn't actually taken a shot in open play yet, but she's perfect from the line.
It's up 6 now for Sevenoaks.
Biggest lead of the game for them. They led by 5 in the early stages. They trailed by 16 at one stage in the second quarter, but 11 straight points got them back into it. And they've continued that momentum in the second half as Winterburn gets herself a little space, and that's the sort of shot that Leicester really need to go down. Lewis. Presley putting it on the floor. Presley drives through and Oliver bats it away. Aaron McGarrigan will come back into the game as Holly Winterman sits down. 2 minutes and some change to go here in the third period. It's been another good quarter for the visitors. Wesley has to shoot. Shot clock's at 1, no time for a pass. And even though Bush fired it up, it was too late. Well, Leicester had 31 points at the end of the first quarter. They've had 10 in the 18 minutes since then.
Yeah, they definitely need a basket right now.
Navarro, can she provide it from three-point range?
They needed it. They definitely needed it.
They certainly did. It's down to 3. Wrestler has it knocked loose, gets it back, does she? McGarrigan diving for it. Here's Bush. Shot clock low again. It needs to go up. Finds a way, just on the buzzer. That's good. Bush is going to get called for the foul. Trying to make the case for a little push off, but when you're the defensive player and you're level going backwards, it's almost always on you. Here's Smith. Smith finds some space. McGarrigan with the rebound. Oh, that one doesn't go either. Here comes Carr, pushing for the Suns. Good pass. Presley in the corner. Lewis up top, driving down the lane. Draws the foul.
Great ball movement from Sevenoaks.
Oh, a technical foul has been called. I don't know if it was the bench or the team. I'm assuming it's on Coach Krimesh Patel. We'll see. No, it is on Alex Smith, who must have said something. They did get a warning a couple of minutes ago, the Leicester players. Oh, is there 2? Did he call 1 on the coach and 1 on the player?
It's just 1.
No, it is just on Alex Smith. So first of all, there'll be 2 free throws for the original foul, which Caitlin Lewis will take. Then there should be a free throw for the technical, and then they'll get possession of the ball. And she makes the second one, and now anybody can take the technical. And it's Ashley Munns who's going to do that.
I was saying in the last possession from Sevenoaks, they were moving the ball pretty quick with less dribble. Coach Bush was saying a couple minutes ago, less dribble, more passing, more movement, less dribble. Certainly they're doing it. Less dribble, more passing, and more attacking. That's one of the keys against the zone.
Cole. Munns rattles one in. And the lead is now 9. It's a 25-point turnaround in, what, about 15, 16 minutes of playing action. Smith. Oliver, they really need that. They don't get it. And, well, a chance for Carr to heave one here. She's going to get in and shoot, but it doesn't go. But an excellent quarter once again by the visitors. Their defense really has been doing the job. They've kept Leicester to 13 points in 20 minutes of play. 7 in the second quarter, 6 in the third.
Yeah, definitely. The defensive end has been stepping up on the second and the third quarter, and we've been talking the whole time. Like on the offensive end, they are consistent, 17, and 18. So they're helping them on get the lead now, up 9 with a quarter to go.
Well, Leicester just really haven't had anything near the first quarter. As I say, 31 points in the first and 13 since then. A couple other games going on in the WBBL in the Cup. A good, strong fourth quarter by the Caledonia Pride saw them run away with it. Down the stretch, they beat Cardiff Met Archers 64-55 to progress through to to the next round, and big game up in Sheffield. They're in the last minute there. It is the Hatters 73, the Wildcats 73, and Sheffield have just made a 3 to tie that game with 50 seconds to go. We'll keep an eye on that one and bring you the result. Well, assuming it doesn't go to overtime and double overtime, we'll hopefully bring you the result before the end of our ball game here. Hatters, of course, undefeated 5-0 at the top of the table. These two teams here also undefeated, so one of them is going to suffer their first loss. If Sheffield lose, there could be just one undefeated team left in the WBBL by the end of today, and it would be the winner of this game, but that's assuming that the Hatters do win that game against Nottingham, which is not an assumption I would be prepared to bet much money on. It's 73 all, a Nottingham ball and 50 seconds to go.
Important possession now for Leicester, because a basket for Seven will make the lead up 10 or over 10, so they really need to get a stop now.
Well, they nearly came up with the steal, but Carr gets it back, drives in, good ball movement, Bush for three, is good! Great recovery by the Suns, and Bush knocks down the triple. The lead is 12. Hayward drives along the baseline.
Good play.
Navarro to reply with three of her own. Leicester just about hanging on here. Here's Carr. Bush. Oh, Carr wasn't expecting the pass.
Mons tried to save it, but it was too late for her to get it.
Well, Nottingham have missed, by the way, up in Sheffield, so it's now Sheffield timeout. They have possession with 33 seconds to go, and still a tie ball game at 73 apiece. Here's Smith.
She stepped out of bounds.
Yeah. 8:51 to go. Carr, nice pass. Lewis is blocked by Thompson. I think that's her third block of the game as Lewis trying to find some way along the baseline. Koppel back into the game. Last thing coach said was about breaking the press. I think he's got that message through, hopefully.
I think she knows now what she needs to do now.
She won't be out there long if she doesn't do it this time, I tell you. Carl with the rebound.
Important for Leicester. Don't give second chances to Seven if they want to, close the game and the gap.
I think that was aimed for Navarro, but Smith grabbed it instead. Navarro, tough shot from the top of Keith. Thought the heat up here in the fourth quarter. Mons again in that short corner, doesn't go. Good work from Bush.
Again, second chance, offensive rebound.
Carr's shot doesn't go. They've got 14 offensive rebounds and 13 second chance points.
That's a lot for them.
Navarro again!
She is feeling it.
Rebecca Navarro really firing up. She's up to 13 now. Gap is down to 5. Carr with the turnaround, just. That one was right on the edge of the ring. Could have gone either way. Gravity pulled it in. get it to Navarro again this time. Thompson puts it on the floor. Jones with some space. Ball loose. Carr comes up with it. Almost loses it. Still in trouble. Gets it out to Lewis. Pushes through, doesn't go. Another offensive rebound. Coach Patel slams the floor in frustration. Here's Carr. Lewis along the baseline, kicks it out. Shot clock, got to get it up, got to heave it. She couldn't find any space, and it's a 24-second violation.
You know, now with the offensive rebound thing, maybe Kate Oliver would be a good shout. Because, you know, she's big and she's always crashing the glass. So,
well, Steph Gandy has put the Hatters ahead, and they've also come up with a stop, drew a foul. There's still a few seconds left in that, but the Hatters with the chance to make it a two-shot game. Winterberg drives in. Foul is called on Judith Fritz. Fritz, by the way, just passed the 100 assist landmark in the game today. Came in on 96 and has 4 already in the contest. So she's up to 100 assists for her BBL career. Winterman can't make the first. This is the time. A game down 7, 6 minutes to go. You need those free throws to go. And it's all over in Sheffield. Nottingham had a 3 on the buzzer to tie, but it didn't go. And the Hatters remain undefeated. 6-0, top of the table. They've beaten the Wildcats 76-73. Rough start to the season for the defending champions.
Yeah, they put him with 2 losses right now. After they, you know, in the first game they lost against Sevenoaks and now against Sheffield.
The long-range triple is good from Fritz from miles out. Fantastic shot from her. Out of bounds. Wildcats actually on 3 losses now because they lost up in Scotland as well to Caledonia.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. 3.
Bush. Winterman almost got her fingertips onto that, but it did reach Fritz. To Carr, space, and she is very effective from that spot, 15 feet along the baseline.
That's the thing from Kat. She'll punish you at any point of the game, although she's not having one of those games where, you know, she's scoring 20 points or 15 or something like that. She's at the minimum 8 points, I believe. So
8 points, but 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, we said it before. She's finding her teammates pretty good, giving great passes and you know, finding better options in the game.
Well, the other thing, I always think plus-minus is a bit of a weird stat because it's a team stat given an individual value, but she has a plus-minus of plus 17, so whatever it means, that's a good number to have.
I don't know, but I was feeling
when
when we are talking, I feel that she's been a great factor in this game for sure.
Smith, who was on fire in the early stages, has to heave it because of the shot clock. And, well, she was 4 of 4 in the early stages of the first quarter. She's missed the 3 attempts she's had since then. Oh, through the hands of Wesley. Thompson drives straight in. Fritz was too far under the basket to take a charge. Haywood from behind the arc doesn't go. Good rebound from Clark and really Sevenoaks will be.
The other thing now, Leicester's trying to get on the lane a little bit more, but they miss like 3-4 around the basket.
Yeah.
You know, touches. So the lead now is like up 11, up 13, and Coach Patel just called the timeout now.
Well, Judith Fritz had the freedom of the lane there. I don't know what happened defensively, but she was all on her own and laid it in for another 2 points. She's up to 19 here in the ball game, and really, particularly in the second half, has come to life, Judith Fritz. And this is the thing when you've got offensive weapons like Carr and like Fritz and like Presley, and even Bush coming off the bench with her deadly three-point shooting as well. It can be different people at different times of the same game or in different games from week to week.
Yeah, the bench from Sevenoaks today has been doing a great job. Renee with 11, Mons with the shooting from the free throw line without a miss, and you know they have like 16, 20 points coming off the bench, which is a big factor in the game.
It certainly is, and you would look at it, Leicester by comparison have 16 off the bench, and you would say Leicester probably a little deeper in terms of the numbers that they have coming off the bench, but not been as effective. Oliver trying to find some space. That is,
nice move.
Well, you've got to say, defense couldn't have done much more than that. But Sevenoaks with time on their side here, 3.5 minutes away from going 5-0 and keeping pace with Sheffield at the top of the table. Fritz drives in, good pass to Carr, who converts, and she'll go to the line for a bonus.
Again, on the assist event as well, like you can see Fritz 6 assists, Carr 6 assists. They're not even pointers of the team, so you know it's 12 assists for them in between.
Well, they've shared the ball really well, and well, Carr can't convert the three-point play, but the lead at 13 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go is a massive cushion for the visitors. And Oliver just, and that was, you were just mentioning it a minute ago, there's been a few.
Yeah, it's been 3-4 around the basket takes from Leicester, where you know if they made them, it'll be, let's say, 8 points for them on the board. It'll make a 5-6 point game. They missed them, so it's a 13-point game now. That's the big difference.
Well, McGarrican sits down as Thompson returns to the action. Fritz has been at the heart of everything here in recent moments. Carr back out to Fritz. Driving in. Oh, looked like she might have got caught from behind. Referees thought otherwise, but Fritz got the 2. Oliver did well just to back that out to Winterburn for 3, who hits. But they need a few more of them in the last 2.5 minutes, Leicester, if they're going to mount some sort of miraculous charge from 12 down. Winterburn. Oliver.
They doubt.
Under pressure. Winterburn driving hard, attacking well. Well, 10 points in 2 minutes, you've seen it done. Doesn't happen often, but it does occasionally.
Yeah, it does. They need a couple stops now, you know, and good possessions on the offensive end.
Fritz. Well, they've got a chance for a stop here because the shot clock's down to 4. I mean, with 100 seconds to go and a 10-point lead, even a 24-second violation isn't the end of the
walled for Sevenoaks, but they do get the shot off. They don't score, and it is a defensive rebound. So Leicester need to go quick. They need to score. Every possession here needs to go in. 2, 3 doesn't matter. Just go in. Here's Winterburn. And
Kickball.
And that will give Leicester the possession back. 1:24 to go. Well, it doesn't have to be 3. It just has to be quick at the minute for Leicester. Hayward. Smith trying to come around the screens, gets it. Oliver steps back, lines up a 3. I think she just, the way she stepped back. Oh, it's a turnover.
Now Sevenoaks needs to be smart, play with the score.
Yeah, they've got it back. Here's Fritz.
Now obviously, you know.
And Fritz will lay it in, and again it looked like she might have got caught. She has a look at the referee and a little wry smile. Is that not a foul, ref? And then jogs back to the huddle. Sprinted back, really. At this stage of the game, the amount of work she's put in, still plenty of life in her. She's the
21 points for
23 now after that basket. The game's top scorer, but volume in the second half particularly, she's really, everything has gone through Judith Fritz in this second half. She's shooting very respectable high 60s from the floor. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, efficiency rating of 27, which is a fantastic number to put on the board. Definitely been key to what looks like will be a victory and a move to 5-0 for Sevenoaks. And well, you look at the games they've played in the opening few weeks of the season and the victories they've pulled out, they look like they're going to take some stopping.
Definitely. About Fritz, you mentioned it before. She had a great year last year with 20 a game or something like that. Now this year, her numbers are a little bit lower with 10 per game, but obviously with you know, people like Carr around her and you know, Renee, Presley, and all the roster that Sevenoaks has, you know, it's a little bit lower.
The Winterburn 3 doesn't go. The other thing I was talking to Coach Bush before the game, the other thing he was saying is they're still trying to find their feet as a team, if you like. They're still with Presley coming in and Fritz coming in, and obviously Gabby going off to university. She was a big part of what they did last year as well. So there's some adjustment to be made, and
definitely
some room for growth, I think.
Yeah, they lost big players from last year. Gabby, Danny, you know, Pedersen, which was a key piece for them last year. You know, so obviously it takes time to, you know, get everybody on the same page and get to know each other and play together.
But if you can go 5-0 whilst doing that,
why not?
Then things are looking good for the rest of the
season,
season, don't they? Well, we're going through the closing stages here. Winterburn just trying to trim the margin of defeat.
That's all.
That's all.
Important thing by the end of the season, when you know the you know, when you're trying to get the spot for the playoffs and all that. Try to get
with them playing each other only twice, unlike 3 that they do in the men's game. And Bush, they're just going to run it out here, are they? No, there's going to be a foul first. Well, need the team over the limit, so it's a sideline ball with 9.9 seconds to go. Thompson with the foul. And that's now over the limit, so it will be 2 shots. Well, Leicester 31 points in the first quarter, and with 8.8 seconds to go, 31 points combined in quarters 2, 3, and 4. And that has been the difference in the ball.
That's been definitely the main factor of the game. You know, the consistency of Sevenoaks, both offense, defense. especially after the second quarter, is gonna make them win the game. You know, like when Leicester only score 31, like they score 31 obviously in the first quarter, and then another 31 on the last 3 quarters. Is gonna be really difficult to to get the win.
Well, I used the analogy, the tortoise and hare analogy earlier in the game, and Leicester came out like the hare, went flying off with those 31 points, but Sevenoaks, 17, 17, 19, 21, very consistent, improving as they go through the quarters, and that's really, I mean, that's how you win games.
Yeah, exactly. If you sit down before the game, you will think, okay, let's improve by the end of the game. Try to play the second half of the game better, score more, and and defend better. And they certainly did. Like, it's a well-deserved win for them, and they're gonna stay on the top of the table with Sheffield now.
Thompson does lay one in, and it's thrown long to Bush, who will run it down, and that will do it. And the Sevenoaks Suns move to 5-0. 2 teams came in unbeaten. It's the Suns who remain in that place. They weathered the early 3-point barrage from Leicester, trailing by as many as 16 in the first half, but really pulled away with it in the second half. Some tremendous play from Judith Fritz with 23.6 assists and 4 rebounds, but good performances all around. Clark, as ever, excellent for them in the backcourt. Kat Carr, not the biggest numbers in terms of points scored, but massive contribution to the team as a whole, and they got good help off the bench as well.
Yeah.
And really, Coach Bush will be very satisfied with that game.
Definitely. As you said before, Judith obviously she was obviously the best in this game today, but Carr on the backcourt and Tejani obviously always helping and contributing, and
you're being distracted here as you get high fives from all of the team there, Pablo. You've got to be able to multitask in this sort of situation. But yeah, so it's finished here at the Leicester Arena, and it's the Sevenoaks Suns who remain undefeated, chasing down Sheffield, who are also top of the table and undefeated at this stage. And for Pablo Vasquez, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thanks for joining us. It's the Leicester Riders 64 and the Sevenoaks Suns 74. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.